Welcome back, everybody. Here's VCE Music Melodic Conventions Part 2. Here we are. We're starting with the same melody that we had previously. And just a word here with these videos. Noteflight audio does not record or come up well in Screencastify recordings. So the melodies aren't too difficult. You could get out your own instrument and play them if it was really a burning thing to hear them very clearly for you. So apologies, but that's just a bit of a limitation of my software and hardware that I'm working with here at the minute. So now we're going to introduce something really simple here again. It's the concept of an auxiliary note. So what might an auxiliary note look like? So we are going to change some parts around here. I'm going to have a look at this bar. I'm going to bring this note down to here, and then this one up to here. So I've got two repeated notes in my melody. Now, if I'm looking at that, I might look at that and think, that's a little bit staid or static or boring. I'm not sure if I really like that. So if I was to play through the melody, I can run the play function here again, guys, but you're not going to hear it very well through this recording, but we'll give it a crack. Actually, now that I hear it, I don't mind that melody, but I'm going to embellish it, okay? And I'm going to use a concept that's similar to a passing note, because remember in the first clip we learned about passing notes. We're going to learn about auxiliary notes here, right? This is just another little small melodic feature or melodic convention that it might be useful for you to be familiar with when you are listening to melodies for the purposes of transcription. So let me change, I'm going to change this one to a quaver, press my right arrow, put in this note, and I'm going to click this one, change that to a quaver, go to the next note, add in my B. I shall press a B on the keyboard laptop, because as we know, we can enter notes either manually with the mouse or we can enter them through letter names. But of course, you have to be familiar with what the letter names are. So now this is very interesting. Look at this. I've got passing notes over here. These are my passing notes. And I've got these kind of embellishments too. They're called something different. They're not called passing notes or passing tones. Let's go in and have a look and see what they're called. They're called auxiliary notes or neighbour notes. An auxiliary note falls between two identical notes. We're over here now. It can be higher or lower than the chord note. An auxiliary note which is higher than the chord note is an upper auxiliary note, and a lower auxiliary note is lower than the chord note. So what I've got demonstrated here is that is an upper auxiliary note and that is a lower auxiliary note. These kinds of melodic features, the use of passing notes and auxiliary notes, guys, are very common in traditional four-part Bach chorale writing. So it might be worth having a look at some of that in the future. We might get onto that and have a study some of the harmony and the melodic features there for you. Okay, so here we are. Same structure as before. This bar is chord 1. It's all based on chord 1. This bar is chord 4 in the key of C major. This bar is chord 5 in the key of C major, and this is chord 1 again. And it's basically the same melody that I had in the first video anyway, but I've changed it to account for auxiliary notes. Now, auxiliary notes can only be placed into a melody or inserted into a melody when you've got repeated notes, right? So what they do is that they just prevent the shape and the flow of the melody from being too static. All right, so that's another brief mini lesson for us today. So well done. Thank you.